Nintendo! Hello, it's me, Mario. I'm bringing you today the along my concert. You see, a long time ago, Brighty and Twilly of the Sun and the Moon had decided to have their own natural time they use nature. But one day they began to ask themselves, Brighty and Twilly, who's more impressive, you or me? Twilight replied, I'm more dazzling. No way, I am cooler. I'm better. I'm cooler. I'm better. I'm cooler. Better. These two are actually getting furious with each other. Meanwhile, I decided to stand over here and think about what to do with these to stop with this feud. Until I got it! I got an idea. The stars would help in their feud. We'll throw a Mario Party to fill the star bank. With the power of the stars, they had a shot at getting them to make it up. Determined to settle Brighton and Twilly's spat, we shall form Mario Party 6 by getting all the stars into the bank. Will it be enough? Find out today on Mario Party 6! Woohoo! What's up, guys? This is Red the Knight here at your service, and welcome to Mario Party 6! I am your host, Red the Knight, and Red Leaf Ranger at your service. Alright, so let's begin our little adventures here. As you may have noticed though, these are the 3 files you begin with. From start though, right over here onto the little star icon that says 158, that's where we're going to actually play, because there is a guaranteed mission of what to do only in the Mario Party game. Unless I could go to a new game, but we're going to go to this one here. Let's go. So let's make this quick though, because I don't want to waste a lot of time on this. Now, while we're here though, allow me to explain how Mario Party 6 goes. This game is a little tricky when it comes to playing each of the different mechanics when it comes to playing Mario Party 6, though several things happens in a gimmick party mode. That's where you get to have a single player or multiplayer. This first mechanic is solo mode, where you play only single player in the game. Right here is mic mode, which we'll actually do later. We'll actually do that one later, if you know what I mean. The Star Bank, that's your very important objective onto the game. Your options mode and minigame mode. So first, let's go take a look at the Star Bank, shall we? Before we set on a little adventure. So far though, I have 158, so it's going to be a little tricky on how to get every last one of them. I've gotten every last item on there, especially the secrets of the microphone, the credits, and the minigame secrets. But, however, we can do these later in the future for some time, but for right now, we're going to do ourselves a simple Mario Party. So, let's begin, shall we? Off to party mode! Okay, I will look to now then. Before we start though, let's learn party mode of how to play this game, shall we? So there are tutorials on how to play the game. I'm not this pretty good with the voice actors. Oh, okay, go. I'm Brighton. I'm gonna explain how to play Mario Party game. The first time you do is hit the dice block to figure out the order everyone will play in. So it's like every basic Mario Party game, you gotta hit the blocks to determine who gets to go first through last. You got Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. So it's kind of a little presumptuous of why it's gonna be only all 6 of 4 of them, since it's kind of like Mario Party 1, because you have Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Yoshi. And yet so far there's no Wario into the tutorial. They all start off with 10 coins, like usual. This sound, though, comes from Mario Party 5, so remember that, kiddies. especially when the runaway guys are going to do Mario Party 5. Alright, so, like always, blue spaces, they're always worth 3 coins. And during the final round, there's going to be double the coins, if depending on the little fortune. However, the gimmick is a lot more different than you think, though, since it's not like Mario Party 4, 3, 2, or 1, because at the end of the 5 turns, you're going to see why. Next, you got the happening spaces, depending on what area of the gimmicks map you're going to be in, so be very cautious of how much you want to play the game, you and your friends. And there's a dual space minigame, which is, of course, a brand new mechanic in Mario Party 6. Or was it 5? I can't remember. You'll play a minigame in this one. Now, this is the important mechanic here. After every turn, though, the players play the game, but that happens because every time, though, the games of this mechanic here depends on the loop of time at the times you're going through. So per turn, there's going to be 3 times of the events: sun and the moon, day and night. So be very cautious of what's going to happen, because most of the events usually happen. The miracle space is your actual chance time. So you're going to play Lux here, to getting on coins, trades, cars, trade coins, or get stars. Now, this, here we go. There are 2 spaces, depending on Donkey Kong spaces, you have to go through. On daytime, it's DK, but at night, it's Bowser. So, whenever you land on certain spaces like this, you'll end up in a mini-game. That's right, there's a mini-game for each space you play on. Random things will actually happen. Now, these orbs actually happen from Mario Party 5, though. These orbs are really, really handy if you want to get them. Let's see where she's going to go. Just pass an orb space to pick one. The orbs go really, really random here. Now, you can go to the orb hunt and pick which item you actually want to go for. Whatever you spend is yours. Certain orbs are very different from one another. There are 4 orbs colors: yellow, red, green, and blue. Blue is like your best friend. Yeah, sometimes it only helps you out in certain situations. I could go over each of the orbs items, but we're going to have to do that in an original Mario Party game. Now, green orbs, you use this on yourself. Certain of these green orbs will actually buff you up if you want to advance further onto the map. Since you saw, the orb you saw was a mushroom, so that's usually 2 spaces, and the golden mushroom is worth 3 spaces. The blue one you saw is going to be really, really helpful if you actually want to help yourself in a pinch. And this only happens during each of the events. Now, let's see what we got. Yellow. The yellow is on spaces only. They're booby traps. You could toss them up to 5 spaces. You got to remember that happening spaces and spaces your rivals are standing on are off limits. Now, there's a really, really neat trick you can actually pull here. I'm certain you could actually do that in Mario Party 5, though. Now, first of all, let's go over what happens if you do. And you've already saw that happen. If you land on your rival space, then you're in a lot of trouble. That will trigger the orb, and bad things will actually happen. Now, if you landed on your space, you get additional coins, which means you're safe. And there's the trick right there. You can actually place an orb on top of your rivals. AIs are not that bright when it comes to playing the game. Now, if they're really smart, like brutal AIs, that's going to be trouble. The red spaces, they are roadblocks. That's a fun one, though. Certain red spaces will actually be a hazard to your opponents. Now, if you pass one of your spots, though, you're safe. Now, if you're a rival, and if you by chance encounter one of these, you can risk going for it, or take a chance of trying to get lucky and avoid these kind of roadblocks. But if you have like a metal mushroom, the roadblocks will not hurt you. But please be advised, though, that if you land on space, though, you're not protected. So Be careful. Now, there are times, though, that you do want to avoid, but there are times, though, you might want to get lucky and try to see to avoid it, so that way you can actually manage to get the star. After you pass through the roadblock, though, then they disappear, like always. Now, we saw the blue one right there, so you can't use this. It's different. You don't throw it onto space, but you can actually use these items. Certain like of these kind of items are kind of like giving a boo away, throwing the bone for the chain chomp. They're really handy if you want to save yourself the trouble, which is why we keep these at all times. If you have a junk, yeah, you can actually throw that away. So, if it's not that useful, always throw it away. Alright, so now the day and night cycle. There are 3 of them, which is why the events change from 3 turns. In which we get to the night setting. This is Twilly, the gorgeous evening hostess. And, okay, when night falls, the Bowser space transforms, so that one's kind of a real hazard. Doing awful deeds, so beware. Depending on the game board, other things may change when the sun sets. Now, we already know about the star space, because if you go up to it, you gotta pay 20 coins, and yada yada yada, you get 20 coins. We already get that one already, so we're gonna skip that. Some of the other spaces don't have star spaces. On these boards, you'll have to get stars on some other way. And now... oh, thanks. Yeah, we already know about the minigames. Each of the minigames, they're set to, depending on the colors, there's also rival spaces you land on, which of course, it actually tells you, it gives you the color of purple, while happening in green spaces, give you green, blue is blue, red is red. If they're all in the same color, we have a 4-player battle. If it's a different panel, red versus blue, 3 versus 1, then it's a 3-on-1 battle. And when there's a blue and red, it's a team battle. If there's a blue panel and 3 reds, or 1 red and 3 blues, we got a 1 versus 3. And of course we bring in the minigame, and it determines what minigame you're actually going to play. The minigames will determine what you actually play. There's also a chance it'll turn into a battle minigame or a one-on-one duel minigames bit, and so forth. And later on, we'll know about the bonus stars, though, which is why they always happen whenever you have your handicap setting on them. You got a mini star game? We give this star to whoever won the most coins in minigames. Then we got the orb star. Ooh, there's like a total of 6 of these. Whoever uses the most orbs, then finally we award the action star. I'm surprised though that they swapped the whoever wins all the most coins to whoever uses the orbs more. Alright, here we go! Let's start our new adventure of Mario Party!